Thanks for joining us in Nashville. I'm Nicole Sampson, Senior Product Marketing Manager for Policy, Billing, and Underwriting. So quick introductions. You already met me. I'm joined by Gary Ball, Senior Director of Product Management. He'll be joining me up here shortly. As a reminder, any future-looking statements that we discuss in this session are covered under our Safe Harbor statement, so nothing presented today is a promise to deliver certain products or features. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today, no pun intended. First, we'll go through some performance metrics and some customer shout-outs, and then I'll hand it over to Gary to go through the PolicyCenter vision and roadmap, where he will demo both autopilot and rating. And then we'll go through the BillingCenter vision and roadmap, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. All right, so let's take a look at the current state of policy and billing customers on Guidewire Cloud Platform. I know that Mike discussed this in the keynote this morning. These numbers might look a little bit different because these are as of October 31st. So as you can see here on the slide, we have 84 customer instances on Guidewire Cloud across InsuranceSuite, 56 on PolicyCenter, and 49 on BillingCenter, or 50 on BillingCenter, sorry. I'd like to talk a little bit about the graph here. You can see the majority of customers are in Innsbruck or later, which really illustrates the power of Guidewire Cloud, so you can easily update to a newer instance. All right, now on to our customer shout-outs. First shout-out, Sampo Direct Insurance for being the first Japanese customer to go live on Guidewire Cloud Platform. And then next we have San Cristobal, which was the first go live for Guidewire Cloud in Latin America. So congratulations to them. And then Travelers, they had a greenfield boat and yacht product that went live on cloud recently, proving that you can be nimble with your product launches. And then Mountain West Farm Bureau, they had 3 updates in just 13 months. That really illustrates the agility I was talking about with using Guidewire Cloud Platform, making it easy to stay on the most current releases. So congratulations to them. And then finally, CNA, they had a greenfield go live on Guidewire Cloud Platform 20 years after they initially went live with their on-premises Guidewire platform. All right, so you've probably all seen this slide a lot. I won't spend a lot of time here, but I wanted to just touch on why we built Guidewire Cloud Platform, and that is to make it easier for you guys to be agile, get the most recent updates, get the most recent features, and also it enhances security. And as demonstrated by some of the shout-outs we just went through, there's really a lot of benefits that can be realized by moving to cloud. So before we go into our policy and underwriting roadmap, let's just take a look at some current market opportunities and then the business outcomes that we expect to get by achieving those, by building features to realize those opportunities. So the first is many insurers are looking to expand their market share in the commercial lines business as it has greater projected profitability. So we want to position our customers to take advantage of that. Second, we can leverage emerging technologies like GenAI. Michael talked about this in the keynote when he showed you guys the future vision for our underwriting assistant. So you can have features like that allow underwriters to do what you pay them to do, right? Which is focus on selecting risk rather than doing manual tasks. And then finally, user experience for customers and brokers. As you're probably all aware, the insurance industry has been a little bit slower than maybe some other industries in adapting and making more digital customer experiences. And if some of you were on the webinar that we did for PolicyCenter back in September, you may have heard me say that customer experience and focusing on customer experience is not a trend like clogs, weirdly coming back from the 90s. It's actually a requirement. And because companies like Netflix and even online banking apps have normalized the idea of having these digital experiences, we need to deliver on it. All right, so moving on to the business outcomes. So as I mentioned, we were talking about market opportunities. We want our customers to be well-positioned to expand their market share in the commercial line space. So we're building features that directly help them do that, and Gary will go through that when he gets to the roadmap session. And this will help them operate more efficiently or help you operate more efficiently, be more agile, which will ultimately drive revenue. And then by leveraging new technologies, you can build tools to increase underwriting efficiency and allow underwriters to focus on selecting the right risk at the right price, which will drive growth, efficiency, and profitability. And finally, improving user experience. Through self-service tools and automation, we lower operational costs, which improves expense ratio. And then also you'll retain, the idea is you'll retain more customers, strengthen your relationship with brokers, so you'll have business growth. So now I will turn it over to Gary to discuss how these opportunities and outcomes are reflected in our policy and underwriting roadmap.
Thank you, Nicole. Hi, I'm Gary. I lead the product for policy and billing at Guidewire. So before I kind of get into how are we planning to address these market opportunities and help you achieve those business outcomes. I just have a quick question for you. Just quick raise of hands. How many of you are on your journey to cloud for policy and billing, and either you're implementing or you've decided that you're going to go to cloud and you have planned? All right, and then second question is, how many of you are on self-managed policy or billing? Okay, straight up, how many of you going to feel that self-managed is going to be, you want to stay on self-managed? All right, few hands. We need to talk. Okay, thank you. That helps. So what we want to do from a policy perspective, we want to help build a system which will improve agility, profitability, and accelerate growth with a single platform for policy. So how we are trying to achieve these three business outcomes, or help you achieve those, is by three buckets of investment that we are doing in our roadmap. First is around commercial lines. So we have seen our customers see opportunity in this space, and we want to build solution that will address functionality which is out of the box for the commercial lines. Things like large schedule management, US Bureau content, SPT modernization, submission intake, co-insurance, and multinational policies to help you support the subscription business in London market, things like that. So the second is around business agility. We understand that you want to move to the speed of business where your business wants to react to the changes in the market conditions. So we want to give you tools that will help you, allow you to accomplish that, so that you stay ahead of market competition and keep yourself profitable. So some of the investments we are doing in around is externalizing rating service, coding service. We build autopilot for policy, general ledger integration, or we are also investing in building next generation high volume coding at some point. So finally, automation and efficiency. So automation is the key, right? So this is where you want to make sure that we give you tools and technologies that can make your underwriting department more efficient and consistent, so you can increase your underwriting profitability. So we are investing in tools like AI first underwriting assistant. You probably saw some of the demo in the keynote today. We want to do our first pre-bind underwriting solution for commercial market, and we also want to improve our submission ingestion capability for unstructured data. So this is not a high level what we are trying to do from policy investment perspective. So let me talk about the first topic, which is about rating. It is my honor and pleasure to kind of tell you that we have made our rating service available. It is early access for this Las Leñas release. We have few customers already adopted it. We are looking for more customers. If you are interested, please feel free to reach out to us, to CSM. We will help you get there. So the three main value propositions for this externalized rating engine that we have built first is around speed to market. We want to accelerate that your actuaries and product managers can work and get the product out in days, not months. They are able to release those products so that they can give you agility in your product development lifecycle and rate development lifecycle. Second is around speed to quote. We understand that we want to make your underwriters or sales channels more efficient so that they can scale vertically and horizontally no matter where the complexity of the quote lies. So we have not only externalized our rating engine, we have also externalized our quoting engine that will help you achieve those cloud scale capabilities with our new quoting service, which goes along with the rating service. And finally, speed to develop. We are building this new rating engine ground up in a cloud native technology. So this is not lift and shift. So we have tried to build this solution modular so that your rate developers will be efficient. They can manage these rates more effectively. Business can manage those rates if they want to. They can have multi-user deployments. So overall, we want to lower the cost of ownership when it comes to development in this rating engine. Just quick show of hand, how many of you consider yourself in IT in the audience? And then business? Pretty evenly split. Okay, that's good. Thank you. So I'm going to now show you a demo this rating engine. So we do have a session. I'm going to show a high-level demo. We're going to talk really detail about it in a session tomorrow. But so this demo is more about showing you flexibility, which was not there in our previous rating engine. So what I'm going to show you is we're going to modify APD product, add a coverage, and that coverage then we will add into the rating engine, and then I will quote a policy on that coverage. All will be done without bouncing a PolicyCenter system. So let's start. So I'm going to go to my APD product manager, and I'm going to go. It's a cybercrime product. So I have actually added. I'm not going to show it in the interest of time, but I added a new coverage called first party breach, and it has 2 clauses. So this was added, synced into PolicyCenter. Now I'm going to go into rating and see if this this coverage is available in my rate table. It is actually not. So I'm going to go in. This is my UI, how it looks like. So I'm going to go into rate table and see and look for that coverage. So if you see my components, they're individually versioned, effective dated. So it's pretty interesting, pretty cool. We're pretty super excited about it. Now I'm going to add that coverage into my rate engine. So this is all done dynamically without bouncing PolicyCenter. So I'm going to add this, save this. Now this is available to quote. I'm going to go have actually a quote open in the PolicyCenter, and I'm just going to quote that policy. And this is that coverage. I kind of preset that, but trust me, it works. So what I just showed you is I added a coverage on the fly, and then I was able to rate it and code it. So I didn't have to do a deploy. I mean, if you understand what is a visualized mode and a deployed mode. So I did everything in the visualized mode of a product, so which is kind of cool. So you can now do more experimentation when the product is actually building with the actuarial department, product management, and the rate developers. They can collaborate ahead of time. So what is the fronting service to rating service is a quoting service. So we have not only externalized the rate service, but we have also externalized the quote service. When it comes to quoting, there are 3 things which are sort of more important. One is around speed, right? How fast can you quote? Do I have a single point of entry for the quote? I can support all channels, and I can support all complexity. So what we have done is we had a quote service which was serialized. It was embedded in the quote PolicyCenter. We have externalized that now. So it is now able to run some of the processes like rating rules in parallel, so that you get performance improvement, not only for low volume, but also high volume coding. So what we are also investing is making it async. So right now it runs in the sync mode. If you have async available today in the current infrastructure, but we're going to make this also async available so that you can run large volumes of codes or policies which is more complex and has more than 20,000 schedule items will run in async mode. So we're working on that. Some of the functionality you see in this code service is GA in green, some is EA, and some is coming in the future roadmap. So what we are also investing for our commercial customers is when it comes to large schedule management, there's 3 big things that sort of matter. One is around ingestion. So you want to ingest these schedules coming in form of SOV, Excel files, or spreadsheets. We have a solution today to import from the submission ingestion perspective. So we can import the SOVs into PolicyCenter. The second big is around the speed to quote. So you want to make sure that you not only can ingest these schedules, but also quote in time, right? So we have made enhancements in quote service that will help you enable that. And finally, we had a challenge today which exists that you're not able to navigate these large schedules. So we have made enhancements into the system that if it is a native APD line, you will not have that challenge. You will be able to navigate this large schedules without getting into issues of product model sync. And then finally, which you not see in this picture is around billing, right? So if you have large number of costs, BillingCenter, if it's connected, it also gets into some challenging situations. So we are working on that, and we do have exact plans, but I think that is something also in the roadmap we want to fix for large schedule billing cases. So this is exciting. So you probably saw a sneak peek of this morning if you were in the keynote. So we are releasing our GenAI-based underwriting assistant in M release. It'll be available for EA. So what what this is, this tool is about using AI into underwriting processes, so you can make underwriters more effective and efficient and reduce the time. If you see the picture, amount of time the underwriters spend in mid-market commercial underwriting is a lot. So this generative AI assistant is built to reduce that time. So we will have a agent that you will send all these documents. The research that it has to be done will be done by this GenAI tool. Will generate a summary so that underwriters can take quick decisions if they want to take up this risk or not. So the three main benefits from this tool we're going to get is around underwriters. You will make them more effective. Now they can triage more submissions than they can do. So there is statistics that not all the submissions underwriters are able to triage today because there's a lot and they cannot process that many documents. So that it's going to help them go through their queue quickly. Number two, it's going to improve their risk selection. So now they're spending more time on risk analysis that will help them make good and avoid any adverse selections. And finally, it's going to improve the relationship between underwriters, agents, and insured, because now you can get these decisions quickly and faster than any of your competitor. So this is a good start. I mean, we're going to use this underwriting assistant for underwriter use cases. We are going to enhance this for other use cases as we learn along. This is a new technology. We are experimenting with more use cases, but this is something very promising. I'm very excited about this one. This is very promising. So next one, we are also releasing as an early access autopilot for policy. You have seen autopilot for claims for a while, so now we have made this available for early access with our PolicyCenter customers. If you're interested, again, get in touch with us. I'm going to show you a little bit how it works, a little demo about it, but essentially what it is a workflow engine that will allow you to write the business processes outside in a low-code fashion, outside externalized from PolicyCenter. So your business users have more flexibility to change these business processes without getting into IT project or PolicyCenter projects. So main things is around, it's going to improve their customer and agent satisfaction because now you have more agile business processes. You can change and adjust to market conditions. You can promote, you can use this external workflow service for straight-through processing. So if you are doing a lot of manual processing, especially in the standard auto line, personal lines, you could use this service to help you do straight-through processing. And finally, you can increase the underwriting profitability if you are spending time. If you have automated these processes, less manual mistakes, you can improve the underwriting profitability and efficiency with this autopilot service. So I'm going to show you a little demo on this. So this is going to be a workflow that we have built on APIs that are exposed from policy, and this is how the workflow engine is working. So this example is about a car is into an accident. It got salvaged. Now the claim comes in. You're going to close the claim. So the workflow engine is going to go look for the policy, and if the policy has only one vehicle, it's going to issue a cancellation transaction. If it has more than one vehicles, then it can issue a change transaction and remove the vehicle from the policy and then inform the insured and any other parties, right? So let's get into this one. So what you're seeing here on the screen is the claim center screen. So there's a claims come in about a loss, and we see there's a Chevy Malibu in that loss, and it is a total loss. So now we go to the policy of this, which policy it belongs. So it pulls up a policy, and let's see the details. So we see there's a claim open for this policy. Now we're going to go back to the claim, and we're going to close this claim. So let's go ahead and action. So as soon as you close the claim, it's going to issue an event which is captured by this workflow, and we're going to go back to PolicyCenter and see what has happened in the policy. So we go back to PolicyCenter and we see, all right, so the claim is closed, and then there is a transaction which is called cancellation because there was only single vehicle on this policy, so it issued a cancellation request. So let's see what's happening behind the curtains here, right? So let me show you the workflow which is behind the scenes doing all this. So this starts with a claim event, is an app event with a claim close. It will go and fetch the details of the vehicle, find the policy. Once it has the policy, it will get the details and see policyholder information. I think the decision point is there a single vehicle on the policy or there are multiple? Based on that, it can go either way. So if it had multiple vehicles, it would have just issued a change policy request and cancellation. But in this case, it was only one vehicle, so we saw a cancellation, and that's why we see a cancellation on this. So this is a little sneak peek of Autopilot for PolicyCenter. We are experimenting with more use cases. If you have use cases in your business, feel free to reach out. We have made this product in early access, and we are looking for more customers to collaborate with us on this. So next topic, submission intake. We have seen submission intake. We have released this product a couple of years ago. It's doing very well when it comes to Accord form ingestion. So this is handling the standard commercial line business in US. So what we are now doing is we are trying to now release the next generation submission intake, which is helping you take spreadsheet import, right? Which will today use spreadsheet import is doing certain entities like building locations, but we want to make this generalized so you can import any entity using the spreadsheet. We want to simplify this ingestion that you can have you can send the JSON request. If you are using a different OCR engine, you should be able to send you should be able to read it. So you don't have to use our OCR engine. You can use your OCR engine. Once you have that submission with you, you can use our APIs, the existing submission pipeline, and send the submission into PolicyCenter. So that's something we will do. And third would be not everybody uses standard forms. So you have non-standard forms. So we will allow you to also use non-standard form with submission ingestion. So this is still, I would say, vision. We are building on it, and we have a roadmap on it, and we'll talk about some of the timelines. So this is very interesting, and we have released make it generally available the US Bureau content solution for our customers, especially when it comes to bureau content for commercial lines, workers' comp line in US. So this is available today. It's a sort of a managed service offering which will allow you to launch the bureau, if you consume the bureau for circulars which are coming a yearly basis. So it will simplify that process, automate it for you. We'll do that for you. You will have a lot of your IT feels a lot of pain to take on all the changes which are coming in. So we will take that pain and then help you get those changes into your lines, which is available whenever they come in. So you don't have to go through the pain. Finally, it will eliminate and reduce the internal IT cost spends that you will achieve by leveraging our service. So if you have more questions, if you want to, if you are an SBT customer, you want to use this, you don't want to miss this. So this is very exciting. We are making this generally available with Las Leñas. Any questions? Anybody needs it? Please feel free to reach out. All right. So at a high level, so I wanted to share with the timeline how we are doing it with Las Leñas. I think the big thing we have released for EA is around rating service, quoting service, Autopilot for PolicyCenter, and we have made the US Bureau content solution generally available. With Mammoth, what we are going to do is we're going to make rating and quoting service generally available. We're going to release some of the enhancements we are making for large schedule management to address the commercial lines customers' pain point, especially. We're going to keep enhancing our Autopilot. From the end release perspective, we are going to enhance our spreadsheet intake for any object. We are also investing in a tool which is not in this policy roadmap, is around pricing. So at that point, we want to integrate our pricing impact testing tool that we are building into the rating engine, so that will be available at around that time. We are also investing in low-code tools. So today, if you see our rating engine, there's a lot of ways you can manage the rating components, the life cycle of the rating components, deployment of rating components. We've made it very user-friendly, but when it comes to writing those components, you still write in Java. So we want to make that low-code, so we are investing in that tool to build and use those through the low-code, and then we're going to do async coding in annual release. So I think the subsequent releases, the big thing is around our AI first pre-bind solution and the underwriting assistant that we're going to make it available for you. So that is what I have for policy. So now let's switch our gears. We're going to talk about billing, and I'm going to have my colleague come back and talk to you about billing.
Thank you. Right. Oh, I'm back. I was going to stay on the stage before, but Gary was worried he'd walk into me and then I'd fall off. So for safety purposes, I went back down. So just as we walked through the market opportunities and business outcomes for policy, we'll do the same for billing. So similar to what we discussed in policy, the first opportunity is improving experience. I don't have another shoe analogy for this one, but I know you're all aware of how crucial and often underrated billing is. But the reality is that customers interact with billing 10 to 20 times more often in other financial services when compared to insurance. So the number of touch points is a lot lower in insurance. So therefore, it's crucial that we get everyone right. So we have an opportunity there to capitalize on that and make billing an experience rather than a transaction. Okay, next, automating the billing process and providing more flexibility goes hand in hand with experience. The focus here is on leveraging new and emerging technologies like GenAI, as we discussed in the keynote today and before with the new underwriting tool. And then finally, CFOs and other financial leaders are beginning to expect real-time financial analytics so they can enhance their decision-making and facilitate better cash flow management. So moving on to the outcomes, just as we discussed before with policy, focusing on making improvements to user experience will strengthen relationships with both customers and brokers, which will drive business growth. And by strengthening those relationships, by doing things like implementing automated billing or more flexible payment options, will boost customer attention and broker loyalty. And finally, access to real-time financial reporting that is enhanced by automation, like the autopilot workflow service when it comes to billing later on, or AI-driven insights will improve decision-making and financial performance. So that is it for the opportunities and outcomes. Now Gary will walk through how that's reflected in our roadmap.
Thank you, Nicole. Maybe I'll start with the question. How many of you are a BillingCenter customer today? And keep your hands up. So how many of you sync policies into BillingCenter which are not from Guidewire, like non-Guidewire solutions as well? I love that, a few hands. So this is the beauty of BillingCenter, right? So you can manage policies which are living in Guidewire or not living in Guidewire. So thank you. So how are we progressing to, if it progresses, yes. So from a BillingCenter vision perspective, we want to offer our customers a platform that can enhance customer experience through automated and flexible billing. So we have sort of three themes, how we are going to address this in BillingCenter. One is around customer experience. It is super important, as Nicole said. It is a single system that you will touch as an insured once or twice at least during the year. So we are investing in things like funds tracking, APIs, financial reporting, automation, accuracy, and flexibility. So billing is one of those systems. If everything works, nobody notices. If it breaks, everybody notices. So we want to make sure that we ingest, we automate and eliminate all the fat fingering, all the chances of doing mistakes in the BillingCenter. So we are spending a lot of time in some of the functionalities, like we are releasing general ledger integration, proactive catastrophic management, some invoice scheduling changes you can make, data importer for some of the admin data goes across, and finally commercial lines. We have seen a lot of customers moving towards that, and especially towards the subscription business. So we've invested in the last couple of years supporting those businesses out of the box. One of the pain points our customers have always said is, okay, I have a ClaimCenter, I want to use billing to send the payments and the recoveries. So how can I do that? So it has been, was a custom thing, but now we're going to do it out of the box. You can use ClaimCenter to talk to BillingCenter, not only for just simple recoveries and payments, but also when it comes to layered risk and co-insurance, we'll have that available. And then we're doing furthermore some more enhancements to support the commercial business. So I'll touch upon some of the things that we have released or about to release. First thing we have released is around general ledger integration. So this is our built by Guidewire solution available on Marketplace, generally available now. General ledger integration was number one thing every customer does. BillingCenter syncs this data, or rather Insurance Suite syncs this data to the general ledger. So we have made it available that you can extract this data out of PolicyCenter, BillingCenter, and ClaimCenter. That will be available for consumption in your general ledger system. So that's available today. You can use it. If you go to Guidewire Marketplace, you will find that. Second most asked feature was around funds tracking. So this is something we have started building. It'll take us some time, a couple more releases. So hopefully by N or O release, we'll have this out. But this is where you will gain insights of all the funds moving around in the BillingCenter. So this functionality will allow you to keep track of the source of funds, right? So that you know where the funds came from, even if they are moving, the cash is getting exchanged hands or doing things. So we'll keep those tracks. So you will be able to see those full balance history, how the cash moved in the BillingCenter. So eventually, what would help is it will help you do the seamless disbursement to your customers. So now you can return the money from where it came from. If I paid from credit card, I want my money back in the credit card. I don't want you to send me a check which it comes 1 month late in the mail, right? So you'll be able to do that with this functionality. So it's still in process. If you want to collaborate with us, you want to know what we are building, feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to collaborate and show you what we are building. Other thing which we did this year, generally available. So this is to support the subscription market, London market business, where you are getting into a business where you have large risk and you don't want to write the risk yourself. You want to layer the risk, bring in the co-insurance partners with you. So what we have made it available, you can write these contracts in PolicyCenter. You can build those layers. You can be a leader, follower. You can have multiple combinations. And then we will send those contracts back into BillingCenter so you can build those. So you can have flexible billing. You can have negotiated commissions, because this is a very, very specific business where you need to override things. So we have made all that possible that you can do the business your way when it comes to subscription business. So this is available today. You can use it. And then finally, a quick look of in terms of timeline. So Las Leñas, you have general ledger. We are investing in our API. So we are committed to keep expanding our scope for API. We have good coverage in direct business. We are working on agency side of the things to improve the API coverage. We're going to keep doing that for all the releases. And we work with some of the customers who collaborate and tell us which APIs they need, and we kind of prioritize that way. So if you want to be that one, please reach out. So release, we're going to do some flexible invoicing. You want to change the invoice schedule, then everything gets automatically changed. So that's one in the plans. And in release, we are also going to integrate claims into BillingCenter so that it can sense payment and recovery information. For the release perspective, we are going to do financial reporting. So we have the reporting available for Data Hub and InfoCenter today, but we are now investing in the new cloud platform for reporting, Data Cloud, Data Studio. So we will make those financial reporting available in the new infrastructure. So that's for annual release. If you have a catastrophic management, you want to change things, you'll be able to do that. So we're trying to work. So this is a short path which is available today. We're going to productize this in end release, which is very heavily used by a lot of customers, especially this was built during the COVID times, right? So, and for end release, we're going to build the data importer exporter. We're going to keep modifying our APIs. In O release, we plan to release the funds tracking. So I think that's pretty much it from a roadmap perspective. And now I want to open up for Q&A. Or do you?
Yes, and now we can open it up for questions. And I also included QR codes to our LinkedIn profiles in case you would like to connect and be friends after connections.
I think we have a mic going around in the room if anybody wants to ask a question, please. Otherwise, we're going to hang out.
For autopilot, for what you showed, is it only for personal lines or for commercial lines too to delete an auto?
Yeah, you can do it with any lines, no restriction. It's actually API driven. It's like as long as you have APIs, you can do anything.
For any of the billing funds tracking, are you going to expose any of that into the PolicyCenter billing screens?
We didn't plan to, but we can definitely, if you have, we can talk about it. But right now it was only mentioned to, planned to be in the PolicyCenter side, BillingCenter side. But if there is any specific thing that you would be interested, I'll love to have a chat and see what we can do. But it's going to be easy to expose if we need to. It's not hard because it's all API driven.
Hi. Can you give a little more detail on the claim payments and recovery integration?
Yeah, so this is something upcoming. So we already have, so you can, so if you have a claims, you want to collect a payment, today you collect it directly in the claim center. But if you want to use BillingCenter to collect those payments, you will have that integration that you can send the payment request or payment instruction to billing, and billing will take care of the payment and track that payment. And same applies to recoveries, and this will apply. Even if you have something you want to custom pay, that you will get that out of the box.
We have a question back here. Is there any plan to put catastrophe management in PolicyCenter?
It is there. So when you say, what is that you want to achieve from the PolicyCenter perspective? The same functionality that we have in billing or something different?
Well, very similar. I'm from a Florida insurer, and we frequently, of course, have hurricanes, and we're told you can't non-renew a policy or cancel a policy during a certain period of time. So we have to do a lot of manual work on the PolicyCenter side to do that.
Yeah, so do you have BillingCenter with you today?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I think maybe I need to have a question like how to do that, but I think we can make that happen.
Sure.
I noticed there's some low-code feature inside the roadmap for rating service. So could you tell a bit more about that low-code features?
Yeah, sure. So if you come to our session tomorrow, we'll show you some. So what we have done with rating is we have 6 or 7 components like rate table, rate routines, cost routines, utility functions, rate variables. There's a bunch of rating components that are available today that are individually versioned, effective dated. Now today, with this EA version, if we are releasing an SDK that you don't have to be an extreme Java programmer, but you have to write Java. If you want to make a rate routine, it will be written in Java. We'll give you a starter SDK that you can kind of take as a starting point. But what we are doing next is we want to make this a low-code UX so that it is based on our Uthro technology, that you can build these rate routines, these mathematical functions using UX-driven design rather than the code. So you build this from a low-code UX, which will generate a code in the background. What's more, you did not see that in the roadmap yet is the prompt engineering. We're also experimenting with GenAI and see if GenAI can kind of generate some of these things, which it's still experimental phase. You saw some of this in the keynote, but that's also in parallel. We're experimenting to generate the code for these rating components.
In the example you provided earlier for the auto, where if they had more than one vehicle versus just one vehicle, it would either just notify the policyholder versus cancel. Would the same principles be applied to, say, we require BOP as an underlying to write a commercial umbrella policy separately?
Yes,
Okay.
you can do that. You can do that. Yeah, that's another use case we have. And I have my PM, she's nodding, but this is another use case. We actually built a demo on it. We can actually show you, but I just had one demo to show. But
I think this might be the last question, or there might be time for one more after this, depending.
For BillingCenter, is there any thought about having, it's very individual contributor centric, Is there anything from like a higher analytics management to see overall flow of what's happening in BillingCenter?
Yeah, so what you're talking about is you want like operational reports, right? So we do have plans with our Analytics Explore product that we want to build these dashboards. We're starting with financial reporting, but we want to expand that. We have an Explore dashboard for PolicyCenter today. We want to expand that to BillingCenter. I know some of the customers have custom built it. It's not very hard because once you have the data mart in Data Studio, you can build it yourself. But once we start building these financial reporting, building that dashboard is actually super easy. I think the hard part when it comes to BillingCenter is extracting the data in context. So once we have this financial reporting, at that point we'll kind of pivot and you can build those Explore dashboards pretty easily.
Who was it that asked about the cat in PolicyCenter? I'm jumping in here because I'm the product marketer for Autopilot. But with what you described, it sounds like that might be a really interesting way to utilize Autopilot to auto-trigger based on what's happening with categorized as a cat, someone who's experienced a cat event, automatically projecting forward a date before any change can be made. I think that's something that we need to run it by our Autopilot team. But that feels like a good thing to maybe discuss being part of the EA for Autopilot to see if that would make sense.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. All right. All right, well, thank you for joining us.